Yo, what is going on, you guys? So today I'm bringing guys a brand new sports cards video. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the 5 hottest sports cards right now. As we know, the market right now has been coming up for all sports. So I'm going to be letting you guys know whether I believe that these players on this list are buys or sells and just an overall market update. So without further ado, let's hop right into the video. All right, guys, so we are on the alt market trends, and as you guys can see, we've got basketball absolutely surging leading into the All-Star break. We got baseball going up throughout the offseason. We've got football heating up during the playoffs. Pokemon's absolutely ripping right now. And of course, we've got soccer and hockey also having solid 30-day charts. So there's a lot of players right now that are seeing big price increases, whether it's from the NFL, NBA, or MLB, we're going to be going over. So without further ado, we're going to hop right into the video. So the first player on our list is none other than Thompson for basketball. He is currently leading the 30-day basketball charge. As you guys can see, his market before had been absolutely tanking. When the season started, of course, the expectations are set very, very high for young players like Thompson, and of course his brother, along with other rookies. So his card market, started off at some very high levels. His cards throughout the summer were selling for some very good money, and of course, we started to see when the season started, and he didn't start off the hottest. His cards really came down, but they got underpriced, and I think a lot of investors saw that opportunity. We had included him in our membership program quite a number of times during that dip initially when the season started, because when the season starts, there's usually always a full dip in price where people start to sell off, and then, of course, that's where you can find those opportunities, and Thompson was one of those opportunities. And his cards over the last 90 days have absolutely soared. A lot of his more important cards, that had some very low sales right at the start of the season. So the season starts around the end of October. This is a card, for example, Teal Ice, maybe like a $70 to $90 card before the season. One sale as high as $140. And we saw some sales right around here as low as $47 to $50. We saw a couple sales at 49, and now we see that card climbing back up to where it was preseason, and it's back above $90. So this is, for a lot of people, they were able to 2x their money with this little trade. The Rockets have been playing very good, so the players that are exceeding expectations, the teams that are exceeding expectations, especially leading into the playoffs, there's some great opportunity there. Thompson's personally more of a hold for me. I would not be actively buying into these higher prices, but he's not a bad hold at all. I think if you're looking more long term, he's definitely a solid bet in my opinion. So we're going to be going over a couple more players on this list. Victor Wembanyama, his card market has been bouncing back. He's been having an amazing season. I think people are realizing that, his hype was definitely warranted. But his cards, I think the biggest thing with them is how overprinted they are and how many of them get graded. So if you look, for example, at some of his more important cards, a lot of the pop counts are going to be around 20,000 plus for his common cards. I think for a lot of Victor Wembanyama investors who are looking to hold for a little bit longer and not just immediately flip, you're going to have to look for cards that are underpriced but also have a fairly low pop. And cards that are honestly going to be in the spotlight, because a lot of the times you see when his card market increases, it is only his most important cards that are absolutely carrying, his card market. A lot of his Prism bases and stuff, they're not going to go up. His market's still overall down since November, but his important cards, such as his Kabooms, are actually going up in price. So a lot of the times we're seeing, if we see his card market going up, it's not all of his cards that are going up. It is oftentimes mainly his important cards, his Color Blast, his Kabooms, his Prism Blues. Some of these cards have really been seeing some strong sales recently. So I would definitely, if you're investing in Victor Wembanyama, I would definitely go after the little bit more high-end, low-pop cards of his. Of course, on this list, you also have Cade, who's absolutely soaring right now. The Pistons have been doing extremely well this year. His card market's doing well, of course, along with Thompson, his teammate. You got Paulo on the Magic doing good. G.G. Jackson returned from injury. He was a guy who was on our buy list for quite a long time. Throughout his injury, his cards got extremely low, and he's a talent that I think, given how young he is and how much he's improving and his scoring abilities, I think his card market's set for a great year. So G.G. Jackson's still a buy, in my opinion. I think there's still room to go there. So we're going to switch over to baseball. We're seeing throughout the offseason, of course, the Dodgers signed Roki Sasaki. That's going to cause a massive price increase. But you're also going to see a lot of all-time greats in this list. The vintage market across the board has been heating back up. And I think a lot of opportunities when it comes to vintage are going to be more towards that baseball space, just because there's a lot more history there. There's a lot more icons, I guess you could say, in the baseball history list. So, of course, the guys like Mickey Mantle, Hank Aaron, those guys are having great months. And I see that trend continuing, at least for the short term throughout the offseason. And then maybe when the season starts, money's going to flow a little bit more back into the modern. So for football, of course, you have Jaden Daniels, who is absolutely taking off. As I'm recording this, it's after they beat the Lions. They haven't played the Eagles yet. But regardless of what happens in that game, I think throughout the offseason, Jaden Daniels is going to be the hottest name in the sports card market, at least in the football card market. I can confidently say that. We saw what happened with Stroud last offseason, how his cards were just in the spotlight and going up throughout the offseason, super liquid. I think we're going to see similar, if not more, for Jaden Daniels. I think, he's having possibly the best rookie quarterback season ever. So it's just going to be really tough to, predict where his market's going to go in terms of each individual card, just because a lot of his cards are already super high and a lot of the upside is priced in. But if he makes, God forbid, a Super Bowl run, I could see the ceiling on these rising so high. So I think it's not a bad bet to buy into Jaden Daniels. I would just personally think, for me personally, I think the risk is a little bit too high. I think if he does get knocked out, or if he does lose in the Super Bowl, there will be one dip before he goes back up throughout the offseason. But right now, a lot of his cards, haven't released yet. So a lot of his market is saturated on, a couple of his main cards. And that leads to a lot of great opportunities. So I definitely think Jaden Daniels is still going to have some great opportunity. It's just going to be on a card-by-card basis. Of course, you see guys like Saquon Barkley having an incredible season. His price is going up. Josh Allen going up into the Chiefs game. We're going to see what happens this Sunday. But Josh Allen, I think, throughout the offseason is going to be a solid bet. Of course, you got Patrick Mahomes. So this is what I've talked about, especially in our membership program for the longest time, is when there's only 4 teams left, when the playoffs come down to those final 4, final 8, you see the whole market fixated on the 4 quarterbacks. So, of course, you got Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, who's not on this list, surprisingly, but you have Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. And so these 4, the whole market is focused on them right now. So they are in the spotlight. Could be a good selling opportunity if you don't believe they're going to win their next game. If you're holding into the next game, it's strictly like placing a sports bet with less downside, I would say, where you don't lose 100% of your money. You'll still probably, hopefully, break even if you're buying the right cards. If you do lose, but if you win, you have some great upside. So I think a lot of people are placing those bets, as we see happen with the sports books. People are placing those bets on Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Jaden Daniels, and probably some Jalen Hurts as well. I bet his market is also seeing some uptick. And, of course, Saquon Barkley, who's one of the core pieces to their offense. So we're seeing all of these players go up. It's just going to be a matter of whether they win the next game or not. So it's a little bit of a risk, but I think if you're buying into at least Jaden Daniels, I don't see his cards going down because leading into next season, there's going to be so much hype. I don't see Patrick Mahomes' cards going down even if he doesn't win this year. I see Josh Allen's cards taking a little dip. I see Hurts' cards taking a little dip if he does, get knocked out, just because, they're in the spotlight and a lot of people are hoping on this year. So it's just going to be interesting to see. I think overall, it just shows the opportunity. If you just hold into the safe guys like Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, when they are in the spotlight, you're going to see some great price increases and some opportunities to make some great sales. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. I want to thank you guys so much for all the support recently. Very grateful for all the support you guys have been showing me. We recently hit 50,000 subscribers. So once again, thank you guys so much. And let me know what other videos you guys want to see in the future. I'm definitely open to mixing things up a little bit, doing more specific videos, maybe on a specific player's market. So if there's a player you guys have in mind that you guys want me to break down, let me know in the comment section below. Other than that, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'm out. Peace.